Okay, episode number 16. Carlos Velasquez is my guest. Hey, did you guys know Carlos was actually on an episode of Sesame Street? In order to celebrate that, and to give you a little sneak peek of this episode, here is the Sesame Street theme song for as much as we can legally play it. Here goes. Nope, that's it. That's it. No more. No more. Shh. No more. That's it. Hopefully, Sesame Workshop won't sue me. This episode of The Performers I Know coming at you! These are the performers I know, I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know, I know. These are performers I know. These are the performers I know, I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know, I know. These are performers I know. All right, everybody, here we go. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of The Performers I Know. This is episode number 16. That's right. This episode has its own little party with all of its friends, and it's going to dress up real nice, have it get itself a nice brand new car and everything. Sweet 16. Oh, yes. This week, I'm very excited for this. My guest is a very talented young fella. He's an actor, both on stage and on television. He's a singer, accomplished singer, and he is here as my guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in the studio at this time, Carlos Velasquez. Carlos, how are you?
I'm good. How are
That's
you?
I'm I'm just like a big old box of fluffy ducks. I'm doing fantastic. Oh yes. So, once upon a time, last year, I was casting for the Baker Street Irregulars, the revival of it, and I was looking for somebody to play Sparrow, and a lot of the kids that I was looking at had aged out of the role. Unfortunately, they were a little too old for it. And then I noticed on Instagram that I had Carlos as a person that I was watching, and I realized, hey, this kid likes to play the Artful Dodger a lot. British accent. There we go. So we connected with each other, and he did Sparrow, and it was a lot of laughs. It was a lot of fun. But Carlos, my first question to you is, what got you bitten by the acting bug? What made you want to get into performing and singing and dancing and doing somersaults and all that wonderful nonsense?
Well, first I started when I was 5 years old. I started singing. Um, then my first ever teacher who taught me how to sing, he told me that I think that I was good like for acting and stuff. So we did auditions for me to get managers, and then I became an actor.
Just like that. Just poof, he became an actor. You see, Carlos is a very good singer, while I, on the other hand, sound like 27 dying giraffes when I sing. It's completely disturbing. Um, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about right off the bat, remember a couple of moments ago when I said that Carlos was a television star? Well, that's because Carlos was on a very special television show, a show that I'm sure every person grew up with and watched at least once. That's right, Carlos was on Sesame Street. Oh, now this
Yep.
is absolutely amazing. Now, first of all, if you see them again, I need you to tell Grover he owes me $25, and if I don't get it from him, I'm going to strangle him with his Super Grover cape. No, I'm not actually going to do that. But how on earth, Carlos, did that come about? How did you get a audition to be on Sesame Street?
So actually, the year before, I actually auditioned for it. I'm not sure what month was it. Maybe it was like October, like late October. I auditioned for it. Then, if I remember, I got a callback. I do think so. I got a callback. If not, I'm crazy. But I do remember that I got one, and then they choose me for the role. I was a simple kid. Um, it
Simple
was,
man of simple means, you know.
yep. It was in the season 54, episode 11. I,
And are you able to divulge what you did, or is it like hush hush? You can't really speak about it.
yes. So I actually um had to sing head, shoulders, knees, and toes in Spanish. Um,
Oh,
I also speak,
I'm gonna assume you sang it with Rosita.
yes, yes.
Ah, yes. And what was it like walking along the set of 123 Sesame Street, taking in all the sights of a show that's been on the air for over 50 years?
It was really nice. Um, I wasn't actually expecting the set to be in the upper floor. I thought that it was like in a basement.
No, no such luck. Did you bang on Oscar's trash can? Did you bother him?
I did.
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't too happy about that. I'm
It wasn't.
popped out like, "Hey, scram! Get away from my trash can!"
Yep.
Hmm. So yes, there you go, folks. Carlos did Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes in Spanish with Rosita on Sesame Street, and he bothered Oscar the Grouch. What more can you possibly ask for?
Also with Elmo.
Oh, with Elmo,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. And oh, was there a whole bunch of other Muppet friends that came gadding about and were they on like unicycles and such?
Well, not in the part that I was, but after we recorded, I did took a picture with Abby.
Oh, and now you're gonna sell it on eBay for $40. No, no, no. So,
No.
as I said, Carlos is an established and accomplished um, stage actor, and I actually, you just turned 7 or 8, which
9.
not. Oh dear, the offense in your voice, like I'm 9, sir. So you're one of the youngest, if not the youngest person that I've interviewed. So you might have set a personal record, sir. Um, so you played Sparrow in the Baker Street Irregulars, and you got to do really good British accent. Now, was that something that came naturally to you, or did you learn it from other sources, like you copied it off somebody? Did you have like a dialect coach that you worked with?
Well, I learned it. Um, once there was an audition, like the first audition that I had to do a British accent, I didn't know nothing about it. So, we searched on YouTube like videos of how to get your British accent,
Hmm.
and um, we found one, and then I learned how to do it.
And you did it quite well, which I assume, because I've seen little snippets that you are a particular favorite of the character of the Artful Dodger. So I'm sure you're saving up for the one moment where you get to play him on stage. Would that be a correct assumption?
Yes.
And you can have your brother Camilo be your Oliver, your brother, yes. So, you parlayed all this wonderful skill amongst the shows that you've done. Well, actually, it's kind of funny because around the same time that I was playing Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast in New Jersey, you got cast as Chip
Yup.
in a production of Beauty and the Beast. What was that experience like being in a box with just your head poking out? as Chip?
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will say it was fun. Well, it was. Actually, it was very easy, but it was really uncomfortable, especially the box. Um, I liked it. It was very magical because there was a mirror that like made it look that there was no one inside of it, only a floating head.
Hmm.
But the mirror was like a hill, like like
Well,
it
here,
went up.
let me ask you this. Was it always, whenever you were in that box, that it's like, oh, my nose itches all of a sudden? Like, you ever notice that sort of thing happens where it's a situation where you can't show your
Oh my
hands or
God,
touch?
yes. Oh yes. In some shows that happen, and let's say while I was talking, I decided to hold it until I went off stage.
Just imagining like, hey, Lumiere, could you scratch my nose real quick? Oh, of course, my little friend. Ooh, scratches you with his wick.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. So you have done quite a few shows. You are one of those performers who I never see take a break. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, of course. I know people, kids and adults, who just do show after show after show. But it seems like every time I turn around, you're doing something new because
Oh yeah.
you went from you were in Newsies, you were in Music Man, you were in Gypsy, Beauty
Oh
and the
yes,
Beast.
actually, like the last week in Gypsy, I started rehearsals in Beauty and the Beast.
Well, that must have been quite a spectacle. Like you're out there, you're as Chip, and you're like,
Oh
"Where's
yeah.
baby? Where's baby June? Oh wait, that's the wrong show."
Yeah.
Oh,
Um, actually, I remember one of the shows. Um, it was like one of those days like the other shows was only in the afternoons, and like in the day, I had to practice, then get ready, and then go do Gypsy.
hmm. Now, the, you're 9 years old. Nine. I want to clarify that. So that you don't reach out and strangle. And you're doing a vast array of shows. Uh, Shows that most theater kids are probably not familiar with. Has it been an interesting experience for you learning about doing all these different kinds of shows that have um, come into the Broadway history over the years? Something like Gypsy or well, yeah, like Gypsy because that is one of the older shows. What's that like learning about new shows such as?
um, well, starting with the characters, like each character that I do are different. Like in Gypsy, um, they were acting and acting, double acting. Um,
Mhm.
but like in Beauty and the Beast, Chip wanted to be a human, and it's
Well,
like a lot different.
I hate to spoil it, folks, but Chip's all right in the end. He becomes a human.
The human.
Yeah, but see, my question is, where did he get that chip in his glass? And when he turned back into a human, why didn't he show any kind of scar like Harry Potter? Does anybody know why?
Um, I actually do not know.
Neither
That's
neither do
actually
that makes two of us because neither do I. Ooh, amongst other shows where you showed your singing talent and also kind of the voice manipulation because we had to speak with a lisp. And of course, I am speaking of playing Winthrop Peru in The Music Man. You got to sing Gary, Indiana.
yes.
How was your experience, doing a show such as that with such a big, daunting cast?
It was nice. Um, it was really nice. It was like my first, let's say, um, like theater with grown-ups.
Oh,
Um,
so like not primarily a children's cast is what you
yes, yes.
mean. Gotcha.
It was um it was really nice. I mean, I had to pretend that I had a lisp
Hmm.
and I did it. I mean, it was a job.
Well, the important question is, did you and Amaryllis get on very well?
Oh, not really.
Oh dear. Oh well. Winthrop, I don't want you to come to my birthday party, so don't worry about it. Like, oh, thanks, I suppose. So, did you get to play your own instrument, or did you mime playing the trumpet?
I
That
mind.
um,
I wanted to play.
I mean, they should have taught you at least like a couple of things.
I
That's
know.
not right.
Yeah, I did like a tiny woo.
Woo! Play that play like a 36-minute trumpet solo,
Oh
melt
my.
everybody's minds, man. I'll tell you what.
Yep. I could join the band.
Now, Carlos is no stranger to working with celebrities. I mean, for example, he worked with the Sesame Street people, but he also, and I didn't know this until much later, he did Christmas Carol and he worked with John Ratzenberger,
Yeah,
who, for younger people, I suppose it'd be like, whoa, it's Ham from Toy Story, but you know, of course, us old fogies like me know him from Cheers. What was it like working with Mr. Ratzenberger?
well, I wish I was in a scene with him. Unfortunately not, but it was a great experience also. Um, um, it was nice meeting a celebrity, and even though I didn't like get to like do a scene with him, I still took a photo with him.
Well, yeah, well, you know, it of all people to play Scrooge, like I can never picture him playing Scrooge because
Yeah,
he comes off as a very like goofy, kind of nice old man.
I
But
know.
then
Yes,
again, that is what acting is all about. You know, you get to play things that you are normally are not.
yep. I'm literally like the opposite of his personality.
Yeah, which is the hallmark of a very good actor.
Huh. Yep.
Yes. But see, folks, one wonderful thing about Carlos is that it runs in the family. Because Carlos's brother also, and now he's what? He's 21, 22.
He's 6.
Okay, I rounded up. So he now did he start very recently wanting to get into theater, or has he always wanted to do it, but he just only finally just pulled the trigger to start?
Well, he actually started um a couple months, like probably like a year ago, I think. Not months. Last year, I think he started like probably I think he started like in February, something like that. Um, he started with film and pictures.
Ah,
Yes. He also started with taking pictures in Puma.
okay. And then pictures with Adidas, and then pictures with Nike. He was going through all the shoe brands.
Yeah.
We're getting in on the piece of the action. But a little birdie told me, don't tell me, I don't ask where I got this information from. It might have been your Instagram page. The two of you did a sort of mini concert together at the for the Holocaust survivors. You
Yep.
sang a couple of songs together. What's it like working with your little brother?
So we actually did two concerts. We did one in January and another one that was I think like in November probably. Um, so um we each sung like like 5 songs.
Ooh,
Um,
that's a lot
I
of
helped my
that's a
brother
lot of
on it,
songs.
and also like with the training. And my brother sang a solo. I sang two, and then we sang two duos.
Ooh, what did he sing solo? I'm very curious to know.
Um, in the second one, he sang my favorite things from The Sound of Music.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
And let me guess, you sang Gary and Dee.
no.
You sang Consider Yourself.
Actually, my brother and we actually sang that at the end. That was one of
Oh, nice little way to end off your concert. It's
yeah.
great.
Yes. I sang um um just to get my name in lights from
Oh, the boy from Oz.
yes, the boys of us. The boys from us. Yes, the boys from
Oh
us.
yes, Hugh Jackman would be proud because
And also electricity from Billy Elliot.
okay. Well, hey, did you do the British accent for that as well?
No.
Electricity.
I did practice it sometimes with it.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, listen, ain't no shame in that. Doesn't have to always have an accent. Actually, hold on a second. Speaking of Christmas related stuff, another wonderful turn. You played Ralphie in A Christmas Story, and you got to shoot somebody's eye out with a BB gun. Well, now, this is probably a very silly question, but you've gotten a lot of big lead roles and a lot of secondary character roles. What do you enjoy more, or is it just the feeling of, you know what, I enjoy everything?
Well, first I enjoy everything, but like if you're talking about my favorite, I think will be Beauty and the Beast.
Because you got to be in a big box with a mirror that was at an angle.
Yes.
Yes. You know,
Um,
another question that I can't help but wonder when it comes to Chip and Mrs. Potts. What happened to Mr. Potts? Where is he?
I don't know. Maybe he got lost.
He must have he must have gotten lost.
He got lost in the castle.
Well, somebody should go and find him. Come on. Listen, people are, you know, I don't know if you remember this line from the show, but there's a scene where Cogsworth and Lumiere are talking to one another, and they're talking about how the different people in the castle got turned into things. And they said, "Oh, John Claude, he's a brick wall."
Oh yes, yes, yes. I remember
Now
that.
I
Yes.
can't help but wonder. It's like, okay, everybody's back to normal. So that means that John Claude is no longer a wall. So now the structure of the castle is probably very weak because there's no longer a wall for him to hold up. Like, should we call somebody about this? I don't know.
Yes.
I find it very peculiar. Do you have any? Can you help me? Can you make some sense of this, Carlos?
Maybe. I don't want to say this, but I'm not sure what really happened to him.
Oh, all right. Listen, ain't no shame in that.
I'm predicting maybe.
I'm predicting that half the castle fell down.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
It's like, oh, Belle, I love you. What happened to the north side of the castle? It's gone.
Uh,
Oh, right. Jean Claude.
he escaped. John Claus escaped.
Jean Claude ran, fell into the moat. Oh no. Terrible, terrible deal. So, as I look upon the old clock on the wall, you are,
Wait,
hmm?
But actually, I remember that he said John Claus behind the kitchen. He's still alive.
He
He's always
is.
in the
Oh,
kitchen.
thank goodness. I thought, I can sleep better at night knowing that Jean Claude is in the kitchen. Thank goodness, Carlos. I cannot believe I didn't think of that myself. So as I look at the old clock on the wall, I see that we are starting to run out of time. As much as I would like to keep talking with Mr. Carlos, we do have to take a look at the time. My last question to you, Carlos, as I ask all of my guests, if somebody were to come up to you and say, "Hey, Carlos, I want to start acting. I want to start singing. I want to start dancing," what would be the piece of advice, the best piece of advice that you can give them in order to succeed in doing such a monumental task?
Well, first get an acting coach. For they could help you.
Hmm.
Um, also a singing coach, and get them into dance classes.
Okay. And
And
what
just
what
keep
about
training,
if you want to, what about
training.
juggling chainsaws? Which should we get somebody for that?
Uh, not really.
No, well, I can honestly say it's a very tricky thing to do because if you do it wrong, you're gonna have to go to the hospital. But anyway, so yes, I agree. Acting, singing, dancing coaches. But what would there be anything else that you would advise?
Don't give up. Never give up.
Hmm. I think Buzz Lightyear said it best. Never give up, never surrender. Or was that somebody else? I don't know.
Um, well, if you give up, I mean, like, just don't. I mean, like, you've been training, and like that's like for your future. And also, like, I mean, like, when the most hard stuff comes to you, and you feel like I gotta give up, just don't, because that's when you gotta give your best.
Uh, I could not agree more, my friend. Well, as our outro music plays us out, I want to thank my guest, Carlos. Carlos, thank you for being here.
No problem.
And I will see all of you lovely lovelies on the next episode. So long, everyone. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know. These are the performers I know.